Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Rosslyn Hill Chapel, a spiritual home for open minds. I'm Reverend Kate Dean. I'm the minister for this beautiful and sacred place. Now, whoever you are and wherever you are on life's journey, there is a place for you here in our Unitarian spiritual community. Bright Lights is our children's chapel and creche for children aged 2 and above. Babies under 2 are welcome in the creche but need to be accompanied by an adult. If you're watching us from home today, please do join the virtual side aisle. That's at midday, and the Zoom link was sent out in our weekly update email, and you can also find it in the YouTube description. And for those of you in the chapel, we ask do join us in the real side aisle for tea and conversation after the service. Today we're also going to attempt to join the 2 groups together. So if you're in the chapel, please do go and say hello to our friends at home, they'll be on the computer in the side aisle. This afternoon at 2 p.m, there is a death cafe to talk about end-of-life matters over tea and cake. That's between 2 and 4 p.m. today. At 6 p.m. this evening, we have our regular 30 minutes of mindfulness. And then at 7 p.m, our evening gathering is live music and meditation, with different forms of meditation interspersed with gentle piano music. That's at 7 p.m. this evening. You can find out information about these and all of our other activities on our website. But if you prefer a paper copy, you can pick up the December services and events sheet from the steward's table at the back of the chapel. And our Open Mind newsletter copies will be available next week. We have returned to the practice of passing the collection basket during the service, and we'll do this during the offertory. For some people, this is a symbolic act, especially if we intend to make our contribution by card or online. There is a card reader which will be available near the piano after the service. This month, this month and also in December, we will continue to support our cold weather shelter, which occurs on Friday nights and Saturday mornings, and we do ask that you contribute to this very worthy cause. If you are a UK taxpayer, you can also boost your donation by completing a gift aid form if you're making your contribution by cash. Today's service is on the theme of a changing world, and I'm delighted to welcome our guest speaker, Stewart Dean, who is a chapel member. He's also the husband of the minister and an individual in his own right. So he will be speaking about how technology has changed us and how we can change technology. We begin our Unitarian service by lighting our chalice flame, the symbol of our liberal religious faith. May this flame be as the light of knowledge in our minds and the warmth of love in our hearts. And since this is the first Sunday in Advent, we also begin our annual ritual of lighting our Advent candles. And today we light our first candle for hope in changing times. Now we come together as a spiritual community and we like to get to know one another. So now I invite you to turn to someone near you, to say your name and welcome them to chapel this morning. So lovely to hear your conversations. I do hope we can continue them over tea and coffee in the side aisle after the service. But now let's sing our first hymn. The words are inside your service sheet, A World Transfigured. And as is our custom, please remain seated while we enjoy the introduction and then rise as you're able to sing A World Transfigured. I see our children haven't arrived yet, but we do have a time for all ages, so I'll invite Stuart to come and read for all of us Unplugged, a story by Steve Anthony.
Okay, so this is a children's book. I'm going to hold up the book. Most of you won't see it, but I'll read the words. Okay, this book is called Unplugged. So it starts off with, "Hello, Blip." Blipped like being plugged into her computer. On her computer, she could play fun games, learn new things, dance to music, and visit faraway places. All day long. But one day, there was a power cut, and Blip tripped over her wire. She tumbled all the way downstairs and out the front door. Blip toppled down a steep, grassy hill, rolled through a forest of very tall trees, and drifted down a long, winding river. Blip was outside. Outside, Blip learnt new things, playing fun games with her animal friends, dancing to music, and visiting far-away places. All day long. She was having lots of fun outside. But it was getting late. The sun was setting. Blip sailed back up the long, winding river and walked back through the forest of very tall trees and climbed back up the steep, grassy hill. Where she said goodbye to her new animal friends. Blip walked all the way upstairs. Problems with pages. And she plugged herself back into her computer. "Hello, Blip," said the computer. Blipped liked being plugged into her computer, but all she could think about was how great it was to be unplugged. And there she's going away. "Blip?" I was asking the computer. The end.
Thanks, Stuart. That story by Steve Anthony. And we usually sing the children out. I feel like this is a ritual that we should continue. So there's definitely one child up in the hall already, and maybe he can hear us as we're singing "Go Now in Peace." I invite you now into a time of prayer and meditation. We come together in fellowship each Sunday with hearts full of joy and full of concern. We think of the great suffering in the world, but also the small, special moments we have enjoyed over the past week. If you are holding someone in your heart this morning, I invite you to say their name aloud in the coming moments of stillness, so that we may also hold them in our prayers. Spirit of life and love, God of our hearts, we give thanks for those who bring us joy, and we pray for the safekeeping of those whom we hold in concern. For all those names, spoken and unspoken, may they be surrounded by the loving kindness that we offer them today. Blessed be, and amen. We're now going to sing our second hymn, which is on a yellow music sheet in your service sheet. It will be a familiar tune to you, I think, but a slightly different rhythm. So have a listen out, and Stu and I will try and sing out to this one as well. We'll hear the tune, and then we'll go straight in to the first verse. Please be seated. For our reading today, Stuart has chosen a poem about modern machinery called The Secret of Machines by Rudyard Kipling. We were taken from the ore bed and the mine. We were melted in the furnace and the pit. We were cast and wrought and hammered to design. We were cut and filed and tooled and gauged to fit. Some water, coal, and oil is all we ask, and 1/1000 of an inch to give us play. And now, if you will set us to our task, we will serve you 24 hours a day. We can pull and haul and push and lift and drive. We can print and plough and weave and heat and light. We can run and race and swim and fly and dive. We can see and hear and count and read and write. Would you call a friend from half across the world? If you'll let us have his name and town and state, you shall see and hear your crackling question hurled across the arc of heaven while you wait. Has he answered? Does he need you at his side? You can start this very evening if you choose, and take the Western Ocean in the stride of 70,000 horses and some screws. The boat express is waiting your command. You will find the Mauretania at the quay, till her captain turns the lever 'neath his hand, and the monstrous 9-decked city goes to sea. Do you wish to make the mountains bare their head and lay their new-cut forests at your feet? Do you want to turn a river in its bed, or plant a barren wilderness with wheat? Shall we pipe aloft and bring you water down from the never-failing cisterns of the snows, to work the mills and tramways in your town and irrigate your orchards as it flows? It is easy. Give us dynamite and drills. Watch the iron-shouldered rocks lie down and quake as the thirsty desert level floods and fills, and the valley we have dammed becomes a lake. But remember, please, the law by which we live. We are not built to comprehend a lie. We can neither love, nor pity, nor forgive. If you make a slip in handling us, you die. We are greater than the peoples or the kings. Be humble as you crawl beneath our rods. Our touch can alter all created things. We are everything on earth except the gods. Through our smoke may hide the heavens from your eyes. Though our smoke may hide the heavens from your eyes, it will vanish and the stars will shine again, because for all our power and weight and size, we are nothing more than children of your brain. And now we take our collection, which will be divided between the upkeep of this beautiful chapel and our cold weather shelter project. The collection will now be taken. Thank you for the many ways that you contribute to our spiritual community through your time, your talent, and your treasure. I now invite you into a short guided meditation. So please do sit as comfortably as possible. You might like to put your feet on the ground if they're not already there, your connection to the earth. You can have your hands clasped in your lap or on your legs, whatever is most comfortable for you. This is going to be a body scan, a mindfulness technique to help us ground ourselves. It's especially good at times of stress or when we are feeling we are living in our heads too much, as it connects us to our physical presence. So let's begin with a few calm, deep breaths and closing our eyes, or at least softening your gaze at this point. As you continue to breathe calmly and deeply, I invite you to place all of your attention on your feet, noticing the soles of your feet pressed into the ground, perhaps wiggling your toes inside your boots or shoes. Then expanding your attention to include your lower legs, your shins and calves, all the way up to your knees. Expand your attention to include your upper legs, your thighs and hips. Let's bring our hands in now as well, noticing each thumb, every finger, your wrists, forearms, all the way up to your elbows. Continue to expand your attention up through your torso, stomach and chest, upper arms, shoulder joints, shoulder blades, upper and lower back, and running from the base of your spine all the way up towards your neck, up to the tip of your spine at the top of the neck. Let this wave of attention ripple across the back of your head, up over the top of your head, and let it gently drift down over your face, filling eyebrows and cheekbones with a wonderful sense of peace and calm, eyes and nostrils, mouth and chin, with a wonderful sense of calm and peace. We'll just spend a final few moments enjoying that feeling of connection with the whole of our bodies. I now invite Stuart to give our homily.
The science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke once wrote, "Any significantly advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Today, in our world, we are surrounded by that magic." There is also a law of technology called Moore's Law. It says every 2 years, computers get twice as powerful. The magic doubles. Those of us, or those who know how to wield the magic, increasingly become the wizards of the modern age. So with all this rapid change, why does it feel that all this technology is not making our life twice as nice every 2 years? My take on this, as someone who works amongst the wizards, is it's down to one simple thing. We are humans. Paul Simon once sang, "We live in the days of miracles and wonders, but don't cry, baby, don't cry. I know how he feels." For most of my life, I have professionally helped to make technology easier for people. I am not a wizard myself. I am a designer, and I work with the wizards. I aim to tame the technology so humans can use it. Trust me, this is not an easy task. It is full of moral and business pressures. I have worked as part of teams to create websites and mobile applications for people like Transport for London, John Lewis, and I'm currently working with Ticketmaster, who was recently in the news because of the mega pop star Taylor Swift. In most companies, in most of these organizations, the wizards, the programmers, and those with the technical control, the technical knowledge have the control over what reaches the public. And because the technology was shaped by wizards who, in many cases, don't think of the humans who have to use what they make, we find ourselves bending to the whims of our technology, trying to find the secret spell to coax our microwave to cook a baked potato, or just to get the thermostat from stop freezing us in the middle of the night. So for every person like me, every designer making things more usable or accessible, there can be hundreds of people paid to write code, engineer machines, and create technical solutions. And because these people understand the technology, they know the magic, and they create technical complex solutions. For them, it's the thrill of the problem solving, finding that elegant and efficient solution. And then there's the need to produce a PowerPoint that shows year-on-year improvement to make small-term profits. The need to add more features and to make more sales. And with that comes more complexity. Look, everyone is trying to do their best. The challenge of using technology that changes our behavior was not created out of malice. The engineers did not set out to make us use colorful language when we're working out how to watch a particular TV program on our new set-top box or internet dongle thingy. They are, in their own way, being human. And so the technology we have created often gets beyond us without us knowing. The American futurist and writer Stuart Brand once said, "Once a new technology rolls over us, if we're not part of the steamroller, you're part of the road." Yes, I know, a bit bleak. But let's flip this around for a while. Let's sing the praises of technology and what it has done. Look at how great people and teams have come together to improve the world. And I'll start with one closely linked to the UK Unitarian movement. If I can find the sheet. If you go to the Science Museum in Kensington and make your way to the second floor, then go to a part called the Information Age. Then, behind some glass, you'll find a cabinet off to one side that has a small, dark, grey cube in it, along with some bits that usually go with modern computers. You'll recognise this small grey cube because it has a partly peeled off sticker that says in red felt tip, "This machine is a server. Do not power it down, !" This is the kind of notice that you might see on a printer at work to make sure that it doesn't stop printing or to make sure that somebody doesn't turn off the Wi-Fi. But this small grey box just happened to be the first web server. It was the web for a while. Now, before I go on, I just want to make clear that everybody understands that the web is not the same as the internet. So the internet, as we know, is the way for machines to talk to each other. It's the kind of the network. And on top of that, there are a bunch of valuable things that make use of this technology. So email is one, Facebook is another, and now increasingly TV is one of those things. And in 1990, the web became one of those many new things that uses the internet, or at least, as it was, in the CERN research lab, if you could connect to that grey box. It was a simple idea. You have a document with words and pictures, and you can make those words and pictures clickable. And that would take you to another document, and that will tell you more about what those words meant. An idea that's been around for quite a long time before that, but was never quite implemented in a usable way. Now, this dark grey box belongs to Sir Tim Berners-Lee, who, as many of you know, was and is a Unitarian. The World Wide Web has given us Wikipedia, the Internet Movie Database. It's given us online shopping and bidding and instant access to news around the world. It gives us local and global information, and even when overshadowed by all the new kids with social media and messaging apps, it and its sibling email provides the heart of the internet. When it first appeared in the early 90s, people were either enthralled or considered it a fad. Now people like me are part of the civil service. Access to the internet and the web is seen increasingly as a human right. And in some countries in Africa, internet-connected mobile phones are how people now pay for things. And then there are all the other benefits of technology beyond the internet. There is medical technology, the miracle of the MRI scanner, and the wonders of DNA sequencing. The mobile phone that means we can connect and be connected almost anywhere. Well, anywhere that has a signal. And then all the apps that come with that now. And the modern phone comes with a digital camera, and that allows us to capture our life in increasing details and share it with the ones we love. We have GPS and sat-nav, so we can find where we need to be, and others can find us in an emergency. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so we can do more without wires, and even things like the humble barcode make us easier to shop quicker. Cash machines for if we want physical money, and contactless payment for when we don't. There's video calling, which during the pandemic has helped us a lot, where we can cheerfully remind someone that they are muted. And even dating apps that have created many relationships, many more than just fleeting encounters. And whatever you're looking for, there is a website or an app for this or that. Whatever the need, whatever the want, whatever the desire, someone, somewhere has turned it into something you can find on Google and or download to carry with you in your pocket. We have more power over our lives than we could possibly imagine previously. Or we would if it wasn't for one small thing. We are humans, and the technology isn't. As Kipling wrote, technology is nothing more than the children of our brains. Even the most brilliant artificial intelligent machine we have created does not have the awareness of a 2-year-old or even the compassion. It is a mirror of who we are. And so it becomes something that, if we work together, can make great things happen, or the opposite. For example, we see more and more music being made in bedrooms reaching the charts, like the astounding Billie Eilish. And this is only because they choose to limit their options and to make things simple. Because the technology is now an alternative to playing an acoustic instrument. It's another instrument that they can express their human feelings. When we fall in love with the technology, we can get lost and become part of the machine. Like the robot in our story for all ages. It's so easy to be distracted that we can forget to stop, to look up at the stars, and very importantly, let ourselves be bored. For it's in those times, like in the shower, when we are probably at our most bored, where we can do our best. Our minds can focus on a few things. Another way to view it is mindfulness. By removing the distractions, we ourselves can become more focused. It permits us to let our mind does what it does best, to imagine. So we can switch off life's sat-nav and see where life takes us, open ourselves up to chances, let ourselves be immersed in a conversation, feel comforted by friends and family, or lose ourselves in music. There is hope. Live concert attendance has gone through the roof. The music scene is now more vibrant than it's ever been before, because it is human. So technology is changing faster than ever, but we are not. But designers like myself will continue to try to make the work of the wizards usable by muggles, the people for those for muggles, the people, and for those times when we need to be plugged in. And I hope that we see future generations who will know when to unplug and feel the sun on their face, who can know enough to tame the technology and also find time to play with their animal friends. These are the days of miracles and wonders. But don't cry, baby. Don't cry.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Given us quite a lot to think about. But for now, let's sing our final hymn. It is in your purple hymn book, hymn number 70. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. Hymn number 70. end with a blessing with words from our friend Angela Meyer of the Birmingham Unitarians. We are blessed with an abundance of good things, for which we are truly thankful as long as we remember them. We are privileged with great freedom and power, for which, in return, we act with responsibility. We are lucky to have shared this time and space together, because we are lucky to have each other. May the spirit of this place and these friends go with us into our busy city. Amen. Please be seated. Thank you to John for the beautiful music. Thank you so much to Stuart for his contributions during the service, and to everyone who makes these Sundays special. Please do join us for tea and conversation in the side aisle, and to say hello to the people in the virtual side aisle. And we'll put the card reader on a little table by the piano if you'd like to make your contribution that way. Thank you, everyone.